Yeah, I remember casting his maps last time around, even though I can't remember which they were. Apparently this is his third TLMC finals in a row. So let's see what he can do with Treachery here as we go into game number 1 of this series. So let's see what happens as we go into this. To the bottom right hand side, our purple Terran player. Give it up if you're cheering on MMA. And he's going up against the blue Zerg to the top left hand side. Of course, he is one of our favourites and our map contest champion from the contest that we ran, or the map contest tournament that we ran. It is soO to the upper left hand side as the blue Zerg. I mean, how exciting to start on a macro map between soO and MMA. Does it get a lot more, much more exciting than that? I personally don't really think so. So excited to see how this goes. We do see this setup just getting going, just getting rolling in these early stages. And it is a gas pool opening, so maybe soO with some potential aggression here. As just yesterday he advanced through to the round of 8 of the GSL, of course. Great to see, and very excited. He was very enthusiastic about playing in the competition as well, by the way, which is great to see. You know, a lot of the Korean players you ask, and they're like, well, you okay, maybe. soO was like, yeah, I would love to play again, you know. Super hyped, because obviously he won the last one against several in the grand finals, 8-7. That was an insane series, by the way. You should go back and watch that. So, yeah, he was excited to play again. He was down, you know. And it's great. You know, another player, this is going to maybe surprise some of you guys, but another player who was really excited to play was Innovation. He couldn't believe it. He was like, invite, really? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, awesome. He was like super happy, smiley face and all. It was pretty sick. What's up, Fluffy DK? Thank you very much for the sub coming in on the Twitch Prime. Thank you so much for using your Twitch Prime on the channel. Do appreciate it. There's some love in the chat for a new subscriber. Welcome to the family. Don't forget, as a subscriber, you'll get access to all of these replays. We're going to be sending out our replay pack in the next few days. You can already access the January replay pack through our Discord server, which has over 500 replays in it. And other than that, new replay pack in the very near future. That's going to be coming up soon. So keep your eyes open for that. It will be going out to subscribers. One of the biggest benefits of subscribers. Young Wrestler made Defenders Landing. Thank you, -0 in the chat. That's the one he made. I remember talking about it a lot last time around, I think. Last time in the map contest, that he was the maker of Defenders Landing. I didn't have my full notes here today. But yeah, cool to see. As we can see, there's Reaper patrolling at the front. A depot will go down as well. Zergman Speed looking to complete in the next few moments, as we do have a few Zerglings around the left-hand side. We didn't see much of a game, I feel, on Treachery yesterday. I think it was a pretty short one. I can't remember which series it was actually in, but it was played yesterday, as we do set up in towards this now. Obviously, it's kind of one of these macro maps, right? As we're going to see Link Speed kicking in. Naturally, MMA needs to be a little bit careful for a moment or so. The Reaper trying to defend using the SCVs as well. The Reaper's going to go down. Now a couple of SCVs might fall as well. And we're just going to be seeing these couple of extra SCVs continuing to drop on down as well. It's just going to be seeing this SCV. Oh my god, that's 4 workers killed. MMA now finally pushing those Lings away, but 4 workers for 4 Lings, plus he killed the Reaper. Really fantastic stuff. Last tournament you submitted Defender's Resort. That's it. I actually do remember that one, right? It's, I do remember this. It was the, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna look it up, but I totally remember this map. I can't, what was it? I'm actually just gonna look it up because it's really bothering me that I don't remember it. And as soon as I see it, I'm gonna remember, because I remember casting all the games last time. Yeah, it is the white one. I remember the white one with the X in the middle. Yeah, I remember this one. It has like the forward third base and stuff. You saw some cool games from that. I remember one of the Zerg players played this insane ZvT on that map, where it was like super hyper aggressive. It was really fun. Yeah, I remember it now. I remember judging that one actually. Awesome. See, well, it only took me kind of some looking up and some help from the chat and the map maker himself to remember, but I got there in the end. As unfortunately, soO is actually going to be getting very aggressive here. A bunch of roaches on the way up at the moment, so he's looking to get ready to go and just across the map very early. And MMA building double armory, building, well, a Liberator and a bunch of Hellions is maybe not going to help him so much, but he's moving the Starport off the Tech Lab as well. That's not going to help him. He's got no idea about these Roaches and Ravagers. He needs he needs to do something about this. He needs to figure this out, and right now he's just not even seeing this coming. So MMA has absolutely no clue what's going on. It's coming through the middle of the map. This big Roach Ravager attack. It's going to be very unfortunate for MMA, who really at home has nothing at all. More Hellions being made. He's going to see these Roaches for the first time in just a moment. And again, he's building factories on those tech labs. That's not going to help him to get anything up to defend here. I mean, he's going to be able to morph in Hellbats, but what are the Hellbats going to do is Lings are going to reinforce this. The Roaches are already picking away at the front, and I actually don't know what you'd go for at the moment. Liberator picks off a couple of workers, which is something at least on the other side. As we're going to be seeing those Roaches and a couple of Ravagers once again getting to work on these depots and making their way through this. A couple of Hellions going to try and sneak out onto the map. They don't quite make it just yet, as more of these SCVs going to be moving forwards. And then, well, the Hellions are going to go for it. The SCV's helping to fight, and he will get rid of a Ravager pretty quick. I wonder if it's worth just morphing them into Hellbats at some stage here, though. There's still just so many Lings and Roaches pushing on forwards. We're going to see those Hellions continuing to kite on backwards, as we are just going to be seeing the Lings and Roaches continue to fight away, and it is pretty much going to be it. As we're just going to be seeing, well, a couple of Cyclones come out. Maybe MMA can hold this off in the end. soO is actually still just making more units, though, by the way, so, well, these Cyclones should actually clean this up. If he dodges that Corrosive Bile, he'll get rid of these couple of Ravagers. He will be able to defend this, so MMA will survive. He'll get into the next stage of the game, albeit maybe not in the best of positions. soO actually has a bunch more Roaches, but now we actually see a bunch of tanks on the way up, so that's going to be interesting as well. Sorry for the little bit of lag spikes as well, guys. That's just because we're playing on Korean. Sometimes my connection to Korea goes a little bit iffy lately. I'm not 100% sure why. It's just something that started happening in this last couple of months. A lot of people have been having it now and then where their connection just goes a bit funny on certain servers. And unfortunately we have it on Korea, and it happens once every kind of like 10 maps or something. So I really don't know why. The players don't see it at all. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm not even sure if it's happening over on my other screen. I'm going to keep an eye out, and if it's not, I will just switch over to the other screen to continue to bring you guys the action from there instead. So I'm just going to watch for that the next time it happens. So hopefully it'll just clean up itself. Usually it is only around for like a few moments, so we'll see. We'll see. 10 more Roaches on the way up, as we're going to see a Roach-based follow-up here from soO. I think MMA, you know, well, he survived. He definitely did come out of this in a bit of a weaker position than he would have liked to be in at this stage, as we are going to be seeing these, well, this Liberator on the way out. A couple of Hellions and a couple of tanks are on the way in the main base, as more of these Hellions are coming up the left-hand side to try and get a bit more done. Already going to find themselves a Creep Tumor at the front. I'm just going to be seeing these Hellions pulling back away down the left-hand side once again. So again, pulling down the left, as you're going to be seeing a couple more fours on the way up. I'm just going to be seeing the Liberator on the way out as well in the main base. I'm just impressed that MMA did defend overall. You know, with the Hellions initially when he didn't have Cyclones for so long. Once those Cyclones came out, he was able to clean up the rest as well, as those Hellions getting shut down though. Now, a few tanks set up over here. It's a pretty good defensive position with the Liberator too. I don't think it's something that soO can really push into in the next couple of moments, and he seems to think so as well. Throwing himself in towards the Spire, throwing himself in towards the Infestation Pit also. So continuing to set his tech up here in this. And there's a barracks floating around in the center. And now soO going to try and come up the right-hand side instead, as the tanks are a little bit out of location to defend this one. The Four's coming out just now to some anti-air, but that might not help too much. Hellbat's in the front to tank though, as the tanks get into location. And right now, MMA just losing depots, but hey, better than losing, you know, everything, as we're going to be seeing. Well, actually, soO's going to continue pushing forwards. I don't know if this works. Those tanks are going to do a lot of damage. The Fours are going to do a lot as well. Oh, it's going to be pretty close, actually. He's going to have to pull SCVs in. Ravagers now getting themselves the biles to pick off one of those tanks. One tank in the back is still doing mega damage, by the way. 10 kills, considering it's all Roaches. It's pretty significant. It's still coming across. More Roaches arriving, and they're going to be able to get a little bit more done as well. 23 workers killed. It looks as though soO is just about done enough. I really wasn't sure about this push in. It looked not so great, but I mean, a couple more tanks, and I think this would have been a disaster. But he knew that he just about had enough to make this work out, and he's definitely done enough damage to justify this attack through right now. And even if this Liberator siege is over, even if these Roaches get taken down, the damage is there. 32 workers don't lie. And now we see more Roaches still just streaming across the map. A couple tanks left over, but I mean, Roaches are streaming into the natural, the main. And soO will pick up game number 1. For the first time today, MMA is going to find himself in game number 2. This is the top left-hand side. We'll start, though, with our purple Terran player. Let's hear it if you're cheering on MMA. And to the bottom left-hand side, we do have our blue Zerg player here on black. sorry, Backpreifengesicht. I'm going to keep getting there. I'm going to say as much as I can, just in case this ever makes the map pool. I want to be able to be the one caster that can say it, I swear. It is soO to the bottom left-hand side as our blue Zerg player. Alright then, so setting up into this, and just to show you guys what I mean. So this is the back natural, or the in-base natural, with gold-based minerals, and that's kind of cool until you realize that if you continue up in this direction, all of a sudden you find yourself straight up in towards your opponent's natural, and of course there's this kind of set, pathway where you can just attack the minerals. So I'm pretty sure majority of players will try and take this normal expansion down here. Yesterday, Partying on this map tried to expand here, and it just didn't really work out. It's interesting seeing how this is gonna go in the next couple of moments. So let's see how this goes, see what's gonna happen. Gas pool hatch coming out right now from soO as we get set up into game number 2 at the moment. So Barracks finishes up and a Reaper on the way, as we're going to be seeing the initial setup here is pretty normal, and soO is going to take just the normal natural expansion. Is going to be able to drop that down. We're going to be seeing the CC though from MMA. He's actually going to be able to throw this down the gold base. So we are going to see someone trying to take this gold once again. Okay then, this is going to be pretty fun. This is going to be pretty interesting. Let's see what happens. Well, I don't blame soO for going for the Roach Roaring here, because I think this is what this map encourages. It encourages someone to try and take the risky base, and obviously that encourages someone to try and be aggressive against it and to take advantage of it. And that's exactly what soO is going to try and go for right now. As a couple of Zerg players, Zerglings coming up through the center of the map. soO coming in towards the upper left-hand side to see what else is going on, what else is happening in the next couple of moments. Roach Roaring is just about to finish, as you're going to see that reactor on the barracks is going to be finishing up in a moment or so. Factory going to be finishing fairly soon as well, and just going to be having that Ling nibbling away at that depot at the front. The first roaches are on the way out though, and again I think right now the main thing for soO will be just denying gold mining here. I wonder what MMA does to actually try and defend the gold base in general. Right now his scouting is fairly limited because he had to pull back to deal with that Zergling. So he didn't actually get to see the roaches coming out just yet, but when he does, what does he actually change up? I mean, I guess just a Banshee straight away would help. Factory is going to jump on the reactor now. He could also make a Cyclone, which would help, but maybe not if it's just one. As we are going to be seeing these roaches just gathering up together and getting ready to go. Well, Reaper does see the roaches now, so now MMA knows what's up. Tech Lab immediately on the starport, cancels the Hellions and makes Cyclones. Gotta say that that's generally the way this is gonna go. Now, does soO actually know about the gold base? He does, but he doesn't go for it. He's actually gonna bypass the gold and just go straight towards the main. I'd love to just see one roach here, because one roach will slowly deny this mining and pick away at SCVs. That's all it will take to kind of start slowing that down. Is MMA almost destined to lose a couple of supply depots here, but Banshee on the way, Cyclone's on the way out as well. I'm just looking like it could be an okay sort of defense here. As you're going to see a couple of Ravagers throwing down some Corrosive Biles. And Marine also attacking towards the front here as well. And there's the Cyclones popping out. Oh, that Corrosive Bile, though, connects in the middle of the Cyclones. And that's some real damage here. MMA loses one of the Cyclones right now. And the other one in some trouble. But he is holding this off at the front, which is important because it means he's limiting the amount of SCVs he loses. And if he isn't losing SCVs, well, then the Banshee comes out, pushes this away, and really minimizes the damage done here. T-Rock has lost so far actually is actually very impressive to only have that much lost. If he loses about 5 or 6, I think this is kind of fine. Because there's that Banshee loses 5, 6, needs to try and stop losing more. I think pull away now. He's losing 7, he's going to lose 8, 9. Okay, that's going to be it at least, but 9 workers is a fair amount. 14 workers, but he does have the gold base. And I still have to say, just one roach behind this mineral line would have really just denied this. Alright, well, MMA is still setting up on the natural expansion. You're going to see this Overlord set up on the left-hand side as well. We're going to be seeing this Overlord dropping in towards the main base as well to see what else is going on. So soO just poking around in here is going to be seeing more of these Hellions coming across the map to see what else is up for MMA. So he's going to try and counterattack, but, you know, soO, he was safe about this. He's made sure to kind of get a couple of roaches up to try and deny this run by, to stop it from kind of, you know, to deter kind of MMA from just diving in towards the mineral lines. As we do see a third hatchery coming up as well. I'm just going to be seeing those Hellions getting ready to dive on in and just going to go straight for this anyways. Gets 2 workers right away. If he can get 4 to 5, I mean, again, that's just going to pull him right back into it. And he's going to find the 5 with 3 Hellions still alive, so he'll get 6, maybe 7 if here. Nice Spore Crawler placement to limit any further workers going down. But it's something that brings MMA back into the work account. 34 to 35 for a moment or two before this next round of drones finishes. Stimpack on the way, and we're going to be seeing Bio for this map number 2 now, with a 3rd CC coming up as well. Just continue to get set and ready to go. Alright, just going to be seeing the command center finishing up now. A couple of engineering bays on the way. soO is going to be playing in towards this roach speed once again. So playing in towards that for the 2nd time now this series. Well, it makes sense if you open up aggressively with roaches to then go in towards a roach speed and a roach based follow-up into the mid game. You know, you can see where the logic for that one comes around. So no real surprise there, as you see just extra drones coming up on the 3rd hatchery as well. And again, just looking to see where he kind of go from this point on. A couple of medevacs coming up, and obviously there's some aggressive opportunities here as well from MMA here on back 5 and Gesicht, where you do have maybe, I mean, you could maybe even drop over here towards the natural and use this low ground choke area with a couple of tanks, and you drop up here as well. It's very possible that becomes an issue in the long term on this map. A couple of melee upgrades on the way out. Roach speed is about 75% of the way done. Balin Nest coming up as well behind this mineral line. And we are going to be seeing a few more Marines just setting up. And I mean, the 1st tank's already in the medevac, and the 2nd tank will be soon to follow. MMA is definitely going to put on some pressure here, and I really feel as though towards the main base is the best location. Where else? I guess you could siege tanks down here. That's also actually a pretty nice spot. So I guess there's a couple of places, but for now, it's actually not going to be tanks coming across. It's just going to be Marines, and he will try and drop into the main base with them, maybe via the gold. So we are going to see these units going to start getting ready to go. He actually sees the 4th hatchery here, so he might just go for this kill instead. Not sure if soO actually saw those medevacs. I don't think he did. Stim is ready, so he can stim right onto this, and he's going to go for that queen, which is a quick, easy pick-off before soO can react. Obviously cancels that hatchery, will lose the drone, and he just gets that creep tumor in time. We'll drop the scan anyways to get rid of the rest of the creep tumors, and just slow down the creep from coming out further onto the map. Obviously one of the big parts of this game here is going to be to deny the creep spread, and the fact that he opened up with a Ravager Rush, or Roach Rush, Ravager Rush, means that he has a very limited number of queens. Only 4 queens before that one went down, unlike a lot of macro TVZ or ZvT build orders, which get you up towards a whole chunk of queens very early in the game to rebuild creep and stuff like that. As you're just going to be seeing the couple of units going to sit on this watchtower, and there we go. The 1 Roach is all it takes to slowly deny mining, and that's why I just didn't understand why soO didn't send 1 Roach here earlier, because there isn't really a way to shut down just a single Roach. There really isn't. So yeah, it really could have been very effective in his previous attack. Otherwise, MMA has just been mining off of this gold base for so long, as he will shut this down now. And still just dropping around this side as well. Cleans up some more creep towards the 3rd, as we're going to see Lings on the way up. Link speed's just finishing, Bane speed about to finish too. Obviously with melee upgrades, this is obviously maybe an expected switch. And it's something that MMA now sees, and we'll see how well he's going to react to this. As maybe initially here soO was going Roaches just in case it was Mech, and he prefers to play a Roach style against Mech rather than Lingbane Hydra. Now he's going to be playing Lingbane Roach perhaps. We'll see if a Hydra Den eventually will come down. His lair is finished, he's got Bane speed, he's got the 2-2 started, so he has that potential. As we're going to see a Creep Tumor getting picked off as well. And we're just going to be seeing more of these bio units setting up and pushing on forwards. A little bit of the bio going to stim in here and right away. The tank's sieging up. And again, MMA has just macroed like a beast behind this. soO has so much money in the bank, which he currently isn't using. And we're going to be seeing this bio going to start splitting up once again. Lingbane Ravager starting to push on forwards. And, well, we do see just so many tanks here just going to be so effective. And it looks as though MMA is going to win out this fight. I mean, the issue now is that Zerglings come out on their own. They're just not going to be powerful enough to really fight here. You know, you're not going to have a chance to morph in the Banes because they're going to get picked off while morphing in. And MMA continue to sim on forwards is going to be picking off a lot of these Roaches, Queens, and more. And MMA is going to pick up game 2. MMA is going to be taking game 2, and that's going to put him in one hell of a position to move out of this group, by the way, 100% almost. We're going to be seeing him with a game 3 on his hands. MMA and soO is tied up here, and soO might have to move away. This is so strange. So let's see how this goes. To the top right hand side, our purple Terran player is MMA. And to the bottom left, our blue Zerg player is soO. He's going to go for a 12 pool. So he's actually going to Ravager Rush again, this time a bit differently with the double gas follow-up, so that he can actually afford like a bunch of Ravagers early game. So soO is really all about aggression here in the ZvT today, just going again and again and again. And here on Lost and Found, we could be in for a bit of a quick one. Again, it's a weird map with the way that the colors are. You can just see in general everything's like a little bit different, like the minerals are very different. I really feel like the colors need to be, the lighting needs to be changed, because like I feel it's just distracting to watch with the colors being so different to usual. Never mind to actually play. I can't even imagine. So kind of interesting as we do see this Rotron about halfway done here. Overlord coming across. An aggression from soO to try and shut out this series with a 2-1 victory here in game number 3. Remember that after this matchup we do have soO versus, I think, Creator, then versus Euthermal, then Euthermal versus Creator to wrap up the day. So we still have more ZvT. This is only our 3rd series of the day. I mean, this series is starting to go a little bit faster than the others, but after this we've got the second half of matches still to come, and obviously soO still has some of his games to play. MMA, this is his final map of the day though. He is going to be done after this, and we start to kind of, you know, after our 4th series especially, we'll start to see just where players are at in terms of being able to advance through this group and qualify for the quarterfinals, which will be played on Sunday. So, early Roach Rush here, and so far, MMA, one of the things he's been very stubborn about is the lack of scouting. No SCV scouts or anything like that. As you see, this Reaper will have to pull back to deal with those Lings. Although, already having to just deal with these Zerglings gives you a decent idea of the fact that, hey, well, you know, it does probably mean that these units are going to be kind of followed up by some sort of aggression. Let's see what exactly is going to happen here. MMA is going to swap onto this reactor. As you see the starport on the way up, but now he sees the Ravagers, so he knows what's coming. Is he going to be able to finish the CC even? That might be a bit of a difficulty here, and he is just going to straight up cancel it. Go up to the high ground where he's building a bunker, and a few SCVs already on the way. Starting up a Cyclone and a Hellion. As you can see, this initial reactor going to be repaired. That bunker's actually in some trouble already. It is going to be cancelled. Another bunker building further back here. The Cyclone's going to be a big part of this defense right now as the Ravager battles continue to drop on down. Marine pops out to help out with this defense. The Cyclone takes a bit longer than the Hellion to build, which is why right now we're seeing this taking a little bit longer. Obviously the starport cancelled to give him some gas to be able to do this. Supply blocked now though. As we're going to see this next depot going down as well. Currently depot-less. MMA in a little bit of trouble. We'll start to pull some SCVs in. The Cyclone has to dodge away from the Bile. First Ravagers taking some damage, by the way, as we're going to be seeing MMA able to get into the bunker, and we'll probably start pulling back in towards a more sturdy defense kind of behind the bunker, etc. The barracks going to move as well. Now it's starport on the way up, so those Ravagers just going to pick away from a distance. SCVs need to stay close, though, to be able to keep on repairing whenever possible. And they are going to be repairing up just a little bit right now. So starting to repair here as a few more corrosive bars continuing to drop. Just continuing to set up in towards this. We do see the actual bunker actually does get picked off here, so that's a pretty big deal. So you're going to see a few more SCVs going down. 6 killed so far, 7 workers down, and MMA might just be running out of options here. Another Cyclone's on the way, but it's just not ready yet. I mean, so many workers lost, okay. As he actually uses the Mule to try and block this Ravager in. That's a really cute play. It actually works. He's going to be able to get 2 Ravager kills off this. 7 workers against 13. It's not over because he does have an orbital as well. Remember, these Ravagers are so low, but the target fire isn't quite there. Missing out on some of this target fire means that he is going to be missing out on the chance to actually pick off some of these Ravagers. And that is going to be GG, as soO will be cleaning out this series with that quick all-in. And MMO is going to wrap up the day for 2.